Welcome. Let's look at this scenario where we want to define a polynomial. So we are given a description of this polynomial. Let's call it p of x. This polynomial, it's a degree 3, and then in addition, we know the zeros that are located at -2, 3, and 5. And zeros is just a fancy way of saying solutions. So we are given the 3 solutions of this polynomial. And then in addition, we want to make sure that this polynomial passes through the point of 2, 24. So let's call this polynomial p of x. And if we want to make sure that this polynomial has a solution at -2, then we know that a factor is x minus -2. And if we want to make sure that this polynomial has a solution at 3, then we know that another factor will be x minus +3. And if we want to make sure that we have another solution at 5, then a factor will be x minus +5. So if we consider these 3 factors, we will fulfill this condition of having zeros at those specific values. Now notice that each factor has an exponent of 1. And if we add them up, 1 plus 1 plus 1, it does give us 3. So we have fulfilled the condition of having a degree of 3. So now, how can we make sure we pass through the point 2, 24? Well, for that, we're going to use the leading coefficient. We might not know what the leading coefficient is, so let's call it a. So this polynomial that we have here will fulfill these 3 conditions. The only thing that we need to think of is, how do we find the proper value of the leading coefficient? Well, let's rewrite our polynomial. Minus and a minus, that's a plus. And remember that this leading coefficient is multiplying. Well, if we want to pass through the point of 2, 24, then we can assign values to variables. X will be of a value of 2, and y will be of a value of 24. So what we can do, we can go back to our polynomial and substitute the value of 2 every time we see an x. And we can let y be equal to 24. So let's do that. On the left-hand side, we got 24. We still do not know what a is, so let me keep it as it is. And now we're going to get 2 plus 2. And now we're going to get 2 minus 3. And now we're going to get 2 minus 5. Let's simplify what we have here. 2 plus 2 is 4. And then we're going to multiply by 2 minus 3, which is -1. And then we're going to multiply by 2 minus 5, which is -3. On the right-hand side, we can definitely multiply that. And that is going to give us +12. And now we can solve for a. Now we can solve for a, because a is being multiplied. So we can do the opposite, which is division. So now we have found out the value of the leading coefficient, which is of 2. And when we let our leading coefficient have a value of 2, we will guarantee for our polynomial to pass through the point of 2, 24. So we have fulfilled all 3 conditions. Therefore, the polynomial that we need to consider, it's the polynomial that we have written at the beginning, but now we're going to let the value of a be of 2. So we are done. Hello. If you would like to continue learning about mathematics, you can check out the videos on the left.